Hello, wonderful boys and girls, and welcome to Learning with Avant-Garde Books. I hope that you are well. Today, we're going to learn about Booker T. Washington. That's right, Booker T. Washington. What I'd like you to do is get in a very comfortable place and just get relaxed so that we can learn about Booker T. Washington. Booker Taliaferro Washington was born on April 5, 1856 in Franklin County, Virginia. He died on November 14, 1915 in Tuskegee, Alabama. He was an educator and reformer, first president and principal developer of Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute, which is now Tuskegee University. He was also the most influential spokesman for Black Americans between 1895 and 1915. Washington was born in a slave hut, but after emancipation moved with his family to Malden, West Virginia. Dire poverty ruled out regular schooling. At age 9, he began working, first in a salt furnace and later in a coal mine. Determined to get an education, he enrolled at the Hampton Normal and Agricultural Institute, which is now Hampton University in Virginia, in 1872. Working as a janitor to help pay expenses, he graduated in 1875 and returned to Malden, where for 2 years he taught children in a day school and adults at night. Following studies at Wayland Seminary, Washington, D.C. from 1878 to 1879, he joined the staff at Hampton. In 1881, Washington was selected to head a newly established normal school for African Americans at Tuskegee, an institution with 2 small converted buildings, no equipment, and very little money. Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute became a monument to his life's work. At his death, 34 years later, it had more than 100 well-equipped buildings, some 1,500 students, a faculty of nearly 200 teaching, 38 trades and professions, and an endowment of approximately $2 million. Washington believed that the best interests of Black people in the post-Reconstruction era could be realized through education in the crafts and industrial skills, and the cultivation of virtues of patience, enterprise, and thrift. He urged his fellow Blacks, most of whom were impoverished and illiterate farm laborers, to temporarily abandon their efforts to win full civil rights and political power, and instead to cultivate their industrial and farming skills so as to attain economic security. Blacks would thus accept segregation and discrimination, but their eventual acquisition of wealth and culture would gradually win for them the respect and acceptance of the white community. This would break down the divisions between the two races and lead to equal citizenship for Blacks in the end. In his epochal speech, September 18, 1895, to a racially mixed audience at the Atlanta Exposition, Washington summed up his pragmatic approach in the famous phrase, "In all things that are purely social, we can be separate as the fingers, yet one as the hand in all things essential to mutual progress." These sentiments were called the Atlanta Compromise by such critics as the Black intellectual W.E.B. Du Bois, who deplored Washington's emphasis on vocational skills to the detriment of academic development and civil rights. And indeed, it is true that during the period of Washington's ascendancy as national spokesman for African Americans, his race was systematically excluded both from the franchise and from effective participation in national political life, and rigid patterns of segregation and discrimination became institutionalized in the southern states. Even Washington's visit to the White House in 1901 was greeted with a storm of protest as a breach of racial etiquette. Most blacks felt comfortable with Washington's approach, however, and his influence among whites was such that he became an unofficial arbiter determining which black individuals and institutions were deemed worthy to benefit from governmental patronage and white philanthropic support. Booker T. Washington went on to receive honorary degrees from Harvard University in 1896 and Dartmouth College in 1901. Booker T. Washington once said, "Success is to be measured not by so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome." The school that Booker T. Washington led with just one building and no equipment is now Tuskegee University, graduating thousands of students every year. Among Washington's dozen books is his autobiography, Up From Slavery, which was published in 1901. This book has been translated into many languages. Boys and girls, that concludes our video presentation on Booker Telephero Washington. I want you to think about this. What are some of the noteworthy actions that Washington took to improve the lives of Black people? Well, boys and girls, thank you for watching. I am so proud of you. Don't ever forget that your learning potential is limitless. Have a wonderful day. The biography for this video presentation came from Britannica.com.